Just wanted to give a quick update. I've got a couple of things to talk about today, but the first thing, in the last video, you'll remember that I was a little bit upset. I got a bit emotional, which is something I don't like to do. Basically, I thought I was going blind, but we've resolved that issue. What it was that I was just, when I was at work, I was not turning lights on, and also when I was at home, I was not using lights correctly, so that was causing me to bang into things. So in the last video, I actually banged into the door frame. But that's all resolved now, so that's good. What I wanted to talk about today is something which is very important, very close to my heart. As some of you may know, I'm actually a father, which is a role I take very seriously. And the most important thing for me about being a father is being a strong male role model for my son, because obviously that's what young men need. They need strong, masculine father figures to look up to. So I'll just tell you a bit of a story. There was a great opportunity for me today to actually display my masculinity while I was with my son. So I took my son up to the local school. We were just there to do a bit of sort of anaerobic training. So we were doing something which is called the beep test. Some of you might be familiar with. Basically, you set up cones about 10 meters apart, and you've got a timed beep on your phone, and they have to run to each cone before the beep goes off. And the longer it goes on, the beeps get closer together, so it gets harder and harder to get back between the cones. Great for fitness. That's probably the secret to my success. But we're not talking about my fitness. So yeah, I got my son doing that. We'd sort of been doing it for about 2.5, 3 hours. And before you sort of start thinking, oh, you know, that's torture, how can you make your son do that? My son is actually 4 years old. So it's not like he's not physically mature enough to do that. I mean, he's been walking for about 3 years. So anyway, so yeah, we've been about 3 hours. Some kids turned up. They started playing cricket. They would have been maybe 7, 8 years old. So I thought, great, you know, here's a chance for me to show my son how to be a strong male. So I went up to the kids and said, hey guys, you know, can I play? And of course they let me play, because I'm a lot bigger than them as well. They might have been a bit scared. So first time I got the ball, I got to bowl, steamed down 100 miles an hour, bowled the little kid, wasted him stumps, flying everywhere. And then, so, you know, the kid was like all shocked. He looked kind of a bit scared. Like when I came in and bowled the ball, he sort of like moved out the way, you know, like he was a little like, you know. Anyway, he was a bit upset, but he was bowled fair and square, so he had to go. Anyway, I came into bat, and seriously, it was like swatting flies. Every single ball that came in, it was just like 6, 4, 6, boom, 5, 6, 4. And basically I was just smashing it. I was like way better than them. They were useless. I was way better than them. And so that went on for about 2 hours. Like they just couldn't get me out. I was just killing it. It was like basically BMAC, you know, just like boom, far. And it was a great chance for my son to see a strong male role model like that. Anyway, long story short, a couple of hours later, the dad of one of the kids turns up, and he's all like, my son Timmy just came home and said that you've been batting for 2 hours and you won't let him have a bat. And I was like, well, it's true, I have been batting for 2 hours, but that's because they can't get me out, and that's because Timmy is useless. And I mean, he was trying to put it on me. He was trying to say, oh, it's my fault, but I just put it back on him. I said, well, the reason I've been batting so long is because your son is useless, mate. You know, you've raised a son to be useless at cricket. And I don't know about you guys, but I blame the parents. You know, I blame the parent in that situation. So I put that back on him. He could see, great point, so he exit stage left, he was gone. Anyway, we didn't keep playing cricket after that because the vibe had kind of gone a bit weird and stuff. Anyway, me and my son went back home. We had a bit of a debrief about the whole thing. I gave my son his protein shake. We did a few hundred sets of push-ups and sit-ups and that sort of thing. And then that was it. That was me showing my son how to be a caring, strong, responsible and sensitive male role model.